talk to me a little bit about, as somebody that does not follow the Pokemon space regularly. Ironically enough, have the base set booster box behind me. I got into it, right around the same time you did. I was young, early grade school. I saw the rise during COVID, but it definitely feels different from an outsider's perspective that there is a resurgence in Pokemon in I'm going to call it, again, could be a novice here, 3 to 6 month period. We've definitely seen an uptick in Pokemon. I'm speaking from our stores, our website, like our volume internally. But it seems to be more demand at shows. From like a setup perspective, a lot more people dealing with Pokemon, a lot more people asking for Pokemon. What you talked about it because we have similarities. The card market saw people come in and out, right? Chasing the money. The money stopped. People left. Some people built businesses. Some people stayed. There's a lot more interest in it now. We share that. But why now are we seeing this, and where do you think it's coming from?
So obviously this is opinion is I noticed a huge because I've been doing this obviously streaming before this certain jump is it's all have to do it seems like it follows Pokemon sets and how well Pokemon's doing. The Scarlet and Violet era of Pokemon wasn't very good in the beginning, the first couple sets. And then what happened was they brought Surging Sparks into the mix in the new Pikachu alt art, and they did such a good marketing campaign around that it for some reason brought in a mass wave of Pokemon collectors and flippers again, like these people that wanted to basically call them scalpers, right?
Yep.
It was they like underprinted, they estimated the market at the time because they weren't doing as well the other sets. They underprinted Surging Sparks, and it created such a high demand for people wanting to chase that Pikachu card that everyone wanted, and there was nothing on the shelves anymore. There was not enough printed, and it was just caused chaos. And Surging Sparks was really like the pinnacle of the new hype, and that just basically sparked the market again. And then after that was Prismatic Evolutions, which was arguably the best modern set to release since Evolving Skies, and then that created such a hype and underprinted product as well that it just created such a huge demand. And we're seeing that still to this day that people got into the market, and it feels like more of a there is the people that want to make money and like the scalpers, but there's with that comes real collectors and real like I really say like parents that want to collect for their kids and with their kids. I feel like that's a much bigger bigger wave of people that actually want to collect with their kids that they collected back in 2016 back in for themselves, and then now they're starting to have kids, and we're kind of like in that I kind of feel like we're in the era of like when we collected as kids, we're having kids now and our kids are becoming in the age to collect Pokemon. There's a huge wave of that, and they kind of just I think Surging Sparks, I think social media is driving the hype as well to where people are seeing this pop up on their Instagram reels, on their YouTube shorts, on their TikToks, and it's all driven by social media and those posts. You're like, oh, I love that card. I want to get into it. And then your son that you like, hey, do you want to collect Pokemon cards? I used to collect Pokemon cards. I'm like, oh, that looks cool. And so they started collecting together. I think that the wave of healthy collectors with their parents are getting in the hobby in droves, and it's driving demand like crazy. And along with the scalpers are trying to do that too. It's just such high demand that it's hasn't slowed down at all yet. So that's why I think the market's going so crazy.
So when did the Surging Sparks product drop? Like, has this been because I Prismatic Evolutions? I definitely remember the demand for that. Like, as somebody who is an outsider in this space, that was nuts. With Surging Sparks, are we talking like 6 months? Are we talking a year? Like, do you remember when it
Uh,
released?
so it released November 8th of 2024.
Okay.
So we are not even a year in from that. That was the wave of like in November it just started going crazy. So and soon as like the pre-release stuff was coming out, like even prior to that, like October, I remember it was just such a different world of all of a sudden this wave of people coming in being like, I want that set. How do I get that set? How do I pre-order it? And so from October to now, it's just been a freight train of just every new set that comes out, every set that hits the Target shelves is just completely gone, lines around the building.
Yep.
So November, early October of 2024 is when it really started to take off massively again.
So it seems like we've got really like just like the perfect storm for this as an outsider, right? You've got a limited release or an underprinted release. You've got, folks our age having kids with the collectors, or kids that, or people that like us that used to collect have kids. They're getting into it, right? And then you've got the social media aspect of it, of blowing up the attention around this market. But you posted on your Instagram, I think it was early April, I think this was April 3rd, around the tariff piece, right, coming under the current administration. And I'm going to read the quote. It says 24% tariffs are about to rock Japanese Pokemon market. The next few days and weeks are going to be interesting to see how this already crazy market reacts. You've got this perfect storm. Like you said, everything seems to be hot. I want to get into it in a second, but the next release seems to already be insane. How have you seen the tariffs in such a short period of time? Is this a good thing for the market? Is this a bad thing? Like, where are you seeing that, and how is it affecting the market that's on absolute fire?
Yeah, so obviously, since I posted that, that 24% tariff was just announced, and Japan was a part of that. 50% of my product that I sell is Japanese Pokemon product, and why that affects the market so much is Pokemon does. So whenever they're going to release a set, they release it in Japanese in Japan a month to month and a half prior to the English release, and that shows if that set's going to be good, how in demand it's going to be, and if people are going to buy or going to be excited about the English release coming the next month or month and a half. And so Pokemon has been, the reason why I said that quote as well is because the new Team Rocket set, the most hyped set to be released in Pokemon since the year 2000, since the old school Team Rocket came out, was releasing only a few weeks after those tariffs went into play. And what happened was the Japanese market, they're smart, they're business people, they tried to take advantage as well. And so they played some games, but all they said when I went to go get a quote for my pre-order for Rocket and for the new set that was prior is basically go, hey, here's your price, and here's a 24% tariff on top of it. We're not negotiating. You're paying the 24% tariff. I go, wait a minute. Let's work this out together. We don't know how this is going to affect it. Is this going to lower demand? Is it not? So you're just going to slap a 24% tariff price on top of whatever the price is inflated. And I'll go over some numbers here too, is because this is not anything that's hidden. Because if you print out a Pokemon box in Japan, it's supposed to cost $30 to $35 retail to sell. The boxes that are selling from distro in Japan, like I just bought the Team Rocket set. When I first bought it for pre-order, I paid $200. That means that the wholesalers are making the difference between 30 and 200 right now.
Cow.
Plus a tariff on top of it. And the tariff obviously got dropped from 24. Now it's a obviously the administration is changing tariffs every single day. It's going crazy. No one knows what's going on the day-to-day basis, but it's still a 10% tariff right now. So right now it's a $200 box plus a 10% tariff on the pre-order. What happened when I just got my first wave and I got it yesterday, it was $200 a box. It's supposed to be a $30 box. It's crazy. So it's still in demand. And I got to pass that on to my customers, obviously. So we do box breaks with this. We have to break it down and sell every pack for a certain price for everyone to get it. Because imagine if you're just a normal person and you have kids and stuff like that. To buy a box that's supposed to be 30 and now it's 200, and then you got to pay a tariff on top of that, and that passes along to someone that it comes to me, and then I have to sell it, right? So tariffs on top of something that's already inflated. It needs to be, I think the reason why I put that quote too is it's going to have to be negotiated, in my opinion, with the wholesalers because they're already making so much money off their product. It shouldn't just be thrown on top of it. So we have to negotiate. And so basically what I did too is I negotiated with them the tariff, and now it's 10%. So it's a lot more doable. 10% I think is doable, but anything more than 10% is going to be tough, especially in this market.